Hey, UpStream listeners, welcome back. This is Parisa, and I'm here again with the inimitable Antara, ready to dig deep into a story that's honestly way overdue in mainstream pop. Antara, tell them what we're covering today.
It's about time, Parisa. So today, we're taking everyone backstage into the rise of Lara Raj, Tamil American, total pop sensation, certified banger generator, and cultural troublemaker in the best way. How she's basically rewriting what it means for someone like us to take over big stages, right?
Exactly. Lara's story just bends all the usual timelines. She goes from a Connecticut childhood soaked in samba, candle sales, what a combo, to moving between Tamil chants at home and American radio crackling through open windows. It's that immigrant duality, all the sense and the sounds kind of bleeding into each other.
Yeah, it's giving Temple one day, Jonas Brothers the next. But what sticks with me is her Pati, her grandmother, who had this faith that stuff can hold intention. It's not just jewelry for Lara, it's a whole language. That pendant, her bindi, it's all mixtures of prayer, pop, and honestly, protection, right?
Totally. That's such a South Asian thing, right? Also, I gotta say, I have a strong childhood memory about this. I wore a bright orange salwar kameez to school one day. My mum was all, "You'll look so beautiful." And I immediately got side-eyed on the schoolyard. One girl called me Bollywood Barbie. For a while, I hid my bangles in my backpack.
Ugh, that's too real. The same accessories we wear with pride at family stuff just become targets in school. Lara literally lives this tension. At home, the bindi and necklace mean comfort, but at school it's a punchline. It's wild how the details that make you feel beautiful somewhere can sting somewhere else.
But she doesn't drop those details. She keeps wearing them, grabs onto them tighter, actually. That's what I respect. And seeing her bring those symbols to the biggest award shows, it's kind of revolutionary. It's like prayer and pop don't cancel out, they blend into a new kind of power. Okay, tangent over. Where was I going with this?
You were saying culture is more remix than rejection. And that's literally Lara, she holds the line. And for every South Asian kid facing the 2 extra jokes at school, that's a huge blueprint. Okay, keep going. So, speaking of blueprints, Lara's first studio, a regular bedroom, the very definition of DIY, she and her sister Ria learning to stack harmonies with cheap mics, laptop audio, maybe a bitten charging cable somewhere. They're doing Destiny's Child, they're doing Rihanna, they're missing the notes sometimes, sure, but they keep at it, right?
Yup, there's that line. The internet notices a little, but mostly it's just the quiet grind. It's not all viral fireworks. It's late nights, tinkering with song structure, Ria giving those precise sibling feedbacks, and Lara's learning when to subtract from a crowded track, when to just let it breathe. That's the unseen muscle behind every overnight pop moment.
And then, plot twist. A plain text message. Hi B and Geffen scouting for a global girl group. Dream scenario, but you gotta pack up, leave New York, fly to LA, and suddenly you're in the Dream Academy, training like your whole future is auditioning for its own season finale.
That process sounds brutal and beautiful at the same time. Mornings churning out vocal warm-ups, afternoons with choreography that would break me in 5 minutes, and everything's being filmed for judgment. Plus, you're learning to blend with people from a dozen countries. And let's not romanticize it. 20 trainees into 6 means most people lose. The grind is glamour, but mostly it's, grindy.
And real life doesn't hit pause. In the middle of all that, Lara loses her grandmother, her Pati, who, like we said, is the quiet center. The grief sits across time zones, rehearsal rooms, but she keeps her head down, holding onto a pocket crystal for luck. It's just, wow, you know?
That split between grief and grit is what makes this real. On announcement day, she's got to smile, commit to the group, and keep carrying both joy and loss. Katseye isn't just a brand, it's 6 people learning to harmonize difference, not erase it. I mean, global girl group is easy to slap on a poster, but living it? That means recognizing what each voice brings and what it costs to keep that unity.
Exactly, and there's always the question, what do you sacrifice for a shot like that? Family time, privacy, sometimes even your own creative impulses for the sake of group synergy. And yet you see Lara holding on to her own little customs, tiny bindi, layered gold, classical gestures in the dance. It doesn't have to be a history lecture, sometimes it's just present.
And the hours in those practice rooms, fixing the shape of your wrist, perfecting one vowel till you're sick of the word, none of that is glamorous. It's real artistry, but so much of it happens off camera, under the hum of hairspray and warm electronics. That's the foundation before any award or viral edit. Okay, Antara, how do we explain what that MTV moment means for her fans?
Ah, the big payoff. Touch. The hit and the push performance win. Imagine seeing someone who looks like you, Bindi catching the spotlight, swinging the pendant, totally unfazed at that kind of stage. It's not just a trophy, right? It's permission. My cousin literally lost her mind. She called me, was like, a brown girl just won that. No joke.
Seriously, it's more than mainstream buzz. The Gap campaign, Lara's face staring back at you from a denim billboard, bindi and nose ring on full display. It closes this weird loop. A designer snaps a photo, posts for her daughter like, "We never had this." Authentic representation. Isn't a speech, it's a billboard your mum stops in front of while shopping for new jeans.
And then there's her coming out, which, like, can we appreciate how casually and mischievously she did it? Half a fruitcake. I totally cracked up. It wasn't this grand public confession. It was a normal, joyful admission. That has ripple effects. Queer, South Asian, young fans DM'd her, wrote about coming out, or just feeling like queer is, I don't know, easier to say aloud now.
Right. Sometimes impact is in the softness, not the spectacle. That mix of joy and honesty moves the needle, even if there's pushback or awkward replies online. And it's not just talk. Another Katseye member came out soon after. It's this quiet wave of honesty, and suddenly, being out isn't a career risk. It's a group norm. I think about what you said last episode, Antara, how cultural change often starts in private rooms before anyone makes a speech about it.
Yeah, totally. That's why her influence feels so solid. For every brown kid who grew up being too much, too brown, too weird, too queer, Lara's presence is the opposite of lectury. It's just there. She's singing, she's shining, and that's it. Sometimes that quiet revolution is enough. More than enough, actually.
And her plans. She's not making grand statements. She just keeps building with Katseye, waits for the right collab, maybe solo someday. It's work, not mystique. I love that. Honestly, it's the kind of representation we keep wishing for. As we complained in our Nadanian episode, this isn't nostalgia or forced diversity. This is living, breathing it in every frame.
Exactly. And with every new move, Lara draws the line a little farther for the next kid looking into a shop window or queuing up at the next show. Anyway, thank you all for following us down this timeline. As always, there's more ripple and more story to come.
That's a wrap for today, friends. Make sure to check out the Katseye music videos, stare at all that black and chrome styling, and seriously, wear what you want, even if it raises eyebrows. Antara, I'll see you next time.
Wouldn't miss it. Bye, Parisa. Bye, everyone. Stay bold and keep rewriting your own script.